Four fences up the home straight, and they're off and racing for the Sporting Life Arkle. Dysart Dynamo is indeed the first to show. Jonbon and also El Fabiolo well to the fore with Fizz as they prepare to leave the ground for the first time. Back markers over in hollow game. Sauwar is the one that's held up right at the back of the field with Hador as Dysart Dynamo leads them on towards the second. Dysart Dynamo from Jonbon. El Fabiolo over in third place. Fourth is Fizz, just ahead of Straw Fan Jack. Sixth place for Valley Breeze, then Hador, Sauwar and Hollow Games held up as Dysart Dynamo brings them onto the racecourse proper. And they now have 11 fences to take. Dysart Dynamo lead them towards the third. Dysart Dynamo from Jonbon, who's fast and fluent. El Fabiolo a little bit lower. They're both economical enough with Fizz as they reach the fourth. Dysart Dynamo, big lead by Jonbon, huge lead. Third place on the inside, El Fabiolo. Fourth, Fizz. 3 lengths to Straw Fan Jack. Behind these, Hador. Hollow Games is the one that's just a little bit detached as they race towards the fence that's taken just on the turn before they swing left-handed. And the variety of fences begins to change. Dysart Dynamo, Jonbon in second. The whole field over, and Hollow Games was slow there. Hollow Games is finding this just happening a little bit fast. It's the back of the field. Meanwhile, Dysart Dynamo is just beginning to edge on. The gap 5 to 6 lengths, enthusiastic towards another plane one before we reach a water jump and an open ditch. Dysart Dynamo, big stride. Jonbon in close there. First time he hasn't met a fence on a perfect stride. Safe enough, but that allows Dysart Dynamo another length. El Fabiolo in third, Fizz then. Behind these, Hador as they're getting strung out, they take the water. Over in the lead, Dysart Dynamo established a good rhythm, stringing the field out. Jonbon in second, El Fabiolo 3 lengths away. 4 lengths to Fizz, then Hador as they reach the open ditch. Fabiolo not quite as fast as the front two. Straw Fan Jack made a mistake. Hollow Games is now completely tailed off as they make their journey on towards the fifth last. Dysart Dynamo, Jonbon just had to shorten up into it. El Fabiolo is in third, so the big three in the market holding down the first 3 places. Fizz, then Hador, Straw Fan Jack, Sauwar in 7th place at the moment, just picking his way through traffic, trying to get his eyes on the front 3. At the back of the field, I think Hollow Games has called it a day. Again, Dysart Dynamo saw a better stride than Jonbon, and the lead is about 5 or 6 lengths. El Fabiolo in third. Dysart Dynamo's found a really good rhythm here. Can he last home as they head towards the third last? So out in the lead, it is Dysart Dynamo. Jonbon the first one to go and chase the leader to any degree. El Fabiolo just asked to close in third. Sauwar trying to close on the front 3 is in fourth. They're away from Hador as they head down towards 3 from the finish. Dysart Dynamo, Jonbon pulled out. El Fabiolo staying towards the inside. Then Sauwar, 3 from the finish in the Arkle. Dysart Dynamo over. Jonbon in second place. Then El Fabiolo in third. They're all stalking each other. Who will have the biggest artillery off the home turn? Sauwar's closing in fourth as well. Racing towards the second last. Still out in front, Dysart Dynamo. Jonbon on the outside. El Fabiolo and Sauwar waiting in the wings as they turn now towards the second last in the Arkle. Dysart Dynamo, Jonbon shaken up. Head to one side. El Fabiolo still travels well towards the inner. 2 from the finish in the Arkle. Jonbon, Dysart Dynamo, and El Fabiolo up the inside is the one that's travelling best. El Fabiolo by 2 lengths to Jonbon. This is the last in the Arkle. El Fabiolo is over. Down is Dysart Dynamo. When in third place, it is El Fabiolo by 3 lengths from Jonbon in second. Sauwar in third, and El Fabiolo, the Paul Townend and Willie Mullins will get his revenge on Jonbon and win the Arkle. El Fabiolo by 4 lengths. In second place, Jonbon. In third, Sauwar. Straw Fan Jack will get up for fourth with Hador, then Fizz, and behind those, Valley Breeze. El Fabiolo nipped through on the inside, but he was the best horse on the day. Jonbon had every chance. Well beaten eventually by 5 or 6 lengths, the 2 that had fought out that Grade 1 hurdle finish when they finished the other way around at Aintree last year. And success for Paul Townend and Willie Mullins. Sauwar left third at the last. Dysart Dynamo, I'm afraid, is still down. It was not a nice fall. We'll try and keep you posted there, but initial signs not great, I'm afraid. But the win goes to El Fabiolo. The double green, Simon Munir and Isaac Swain.
And the first of the big head-to-heads between Mullins and Henderson goes Mullins' way. El Fabiolo for the double green of Simon Munir and Isaac Swain, who won this with footpad in 2018. They have won it again. And Dysart Dynamo, who set it up, that was a very tired fall at the last. Let's hope he's okay. The green screens are up for privacy so that he will get the best veterinary care there is in the business. Fabiolo. He's some horse, Ruby.
Zed, look, he was unlucky not to beat Jonbon on entry last year. He's improved through the year, but great bit of riding from Paul Townend as well. Waited for the gap off the bend, went Danny's in, or Aidan Coleman tried to close the door back in, and they all got tight at the second last fence. It was what we wanted to see. It was a great race to watch. The horse in front, poor old Dysart Dynamo, he jumped the best, but ultimately ran out of puff. But a great winner for Paul Townend to make up for Facile Viga in the first.
Well, it's a 24th Cheltenham Festival victory for Paul Townend, a second in the Arkle. He's a massive beast, Paul, and he's a bit sort of clumsy from time to time, but clearly a huge engine.
Huge engine, improving the whole time. It's clumsy, I suppose, yeah, but he knows where his feet are at the back of the fence, so you can trust him a bit. And to be honest, halfway down the back he went a bit dead underneath me when I was left on my own, but I was happy we were going a good gallop and came alive at the right time.
Is he a horse that you have always thought could be a bit special?
I liked him a lot. Like, he won a maiden hurdle in Tremorham and straight to Aintree. And I kind of thought going to Aintree was nearly my best ride. It was a huge ask for him. He ran a big race. The engine has always been there, yeah.
And we look at this race as producing possible champion chasers. Is he a champion chase type, or would he stay further?
I think as he matures and gets stronger and settles, he's settling better now as well. He can go out and trip, but if he keeps winning over two, he'll be run over two.
Two more questions, Paul. Facile Viga, were you disappointed with what he found off the bridle?
Yeah, a mistake in the last didn't help. I was in front too soon, probably. But I got through a gap and he latched on. I got all the way into the straight without going for him. It's disappointing. He got beat by a good horse, good ride and good training performance.
And it's Ireland 2, Great Britain 0, but of course we think we'll win the champion hurdle with Constitution Hill. How hopeful can you be on Stateman?
Constitution Hill looks an animal, or you know, a machine, but I'll give him a round.
Well done to the champions of Ireland.